Okay, let's get this straight. You've always been their favorite person. You've always been, I don't care how bad they treated you. I don't care how bad they talked about you. You are a chosen child. You are a select few. You enter people's lives and you make imprintations on them, on their hearts. You change people's minds. You change how people feel about themselves. You shift atmospheres when you walk in the room. And you think that people have forgotten about you. You've always been their favorite person. I don't care how far the distance has brought you guys apart. I don't care how the relationship ended. I don't care how they talk behind your back. Don't you know that people will look up to you? People will look up to you, but they will be secretly envious of you. You will motivate people so much, but they will never say it. People will love you so much, but they'll never treat you like it. And you've always been their favorite person, whether they said it or not. No matter how bad they treated you, whether they cheated or not, whether they said you were their favorite cousin or not. You see, a lot of people, you inspire them so much they don't know how to tell you, so they envy that you because they're afraid of you. They're afraid of your greatness, but you inspire them daily. A lot of times, people cannot love you correctly because you shine too bright. I know this will go over the heads of a lot of people, but if you've ever been in this situation where you know that somebody was capable of loving you, I know you can love me, but why don't you? Why can't you get it right? It's not hard loving me. It's easy loving me. I give you all of my love. I know you're falling in love with me, but why can't you express it? Why are you afraid to admit it? Why are you afraid to admit that you love me? Then when you're chosen, people will be afraid of the anointing of the gift you carry. They will think that you think that you're too good for them, even when you think that you ain't good enough for nobody. But because you're chosen, your skin radiates, your essence, your presence, it smells like a star. You look like a leader in their eyes, and they're afraid to be under your leadership. That's why some people, they knowing you give the best advice, but they would rather just do their own thing instead of taking advice from you. They would rather put themselves in harm's way instead of loving you. They would rather get with somebody that's like their kind. They already know they don't deserve you, but you would stay anyways. But they already knowing that they don't deserve you. They're already thinking that it's never going to work out because they don't deserve to have somebody like you in their life. I don't deserve to have this type of friend in my life. They're thinking in the future. They're thinking in fear. They're already thinking that one day you're going to actually recognize who you are. Meanwhile, you already know who you are, but you still love them. Because you can love people through flaws. And that's something a hater can't do. That's something an envious soul, a jealous soul can't do. They can't love people through their flaws. Because they're too quick to judge. And you're not trying to judge nobody. You're trying to accept everybody for how they are. And if you can help them be better, if you can help them work on themselves, then you're going to do that. But you ain't trying to change nobody. Because you know that you can't change nothing that nobody that don't want to be changed. So you don't force people to stay. The thing about you is you will go out your way to make them. You don't force them. When they walk out, you may gotta walk into a storm. You may gotta walk into a season of depression. You may have to walk into a season of loneliness, of isolation, because it hurt. It broke your heart when they left, when they gave up on you, when they didn't give in to your love. But you already knowing that you're gonna walk out of this season with your head up. And see, people think that when they walked out of your life, you would never get back up off the ground again. That's what they thought about you. They didn't realize how much It will break their hearts every day you aren't there. Every day they don't see your face. Every day they don't hear your voice. See, they took you for advantage because they didn't acknowledge you. They took you for granted because they didn't love you the right way. Meanwhile, you were trying every way to get it right to love them. And some people, they would hate to say it, but they realize it. They realize it right now that you've been their favorite person. They haven't met a person like you before. And when you leave relationships, you leave a void. And this is something I want you to understand. Because you don't need to go and get in relationships. No more relationships with anybody else that's not here for a lifetime. Because it may hurt you when you walk away, when they walk away from you, it may hurt you. But truthfully, I'm telling you, later on down the line, they're going to start to realize it's going to start to hurt other people that you're not in their life. And I don't know about you, but I don't got time to be hurting nobody because they chose to walk away from me, because they didn't acknowledge to love me the correct way. I just rather would choose people that love me so that I don't got to walk away, so they don't got to walk away from me and miss me. I don't want people to miss me. I'm here. I want to be here for people. I want to be here for you. Somebody type that in the comments below. That's how you feel. I want to be here for you. I don't see us separating. But see, some people will never appreciate you until separation is the thing, that's the only thing necessary. Some people will never acknowledge you until separation is the only thing. Some people will envy you secretly, but be obsessed with your character. You know that people will literally be inspired by you and never tell you, never open their mouth to tell you. And in their head, they're arrogant. They think that it's all about them. The world revolves around them. They never think about how you feel until you're gone, until you walk away. And when you chose and it hurts you to walk away from people you love, it's simply put, you would rather stay and break your heart to help heal somebody else's than to walk away from somebody who don't deserve you. Because you were trained to be a people pleaser, but you got to be smarter. You got to learn from your past in order to better your future. You have to appreciate your mistakes in order to not take for granted your future. All the mistakes you giving your time away, your love away to the wrong people, thinking that it would last. Deep down in your heart, you knew that if this person can't get it right, it may not last. If they can't get me right, if they can't understand me, you trying to force people to understand you until you can't force them to stay anymore. Until even with your big old broken heart, you on your hands and your knees crying tears because you know the best thing to do is to let them go. Even when you want the pain to go away. And you know that if they're in the room, see, that's something about the chosen ones. It will break our hearts, but we'll heal again. Because we know we got a higher calling. We know we can't stop here. We know we just can't let this loss affect our journey. We can't let it stop us. But see, when people lose you, it may not hurt right then and there. We start to feel the effects the moment people leave our lives. We start to mourn people. We mourn different. But the moment we over it, we over it. The moment we realize we can live again, we can live without them again, we actually can be strong. We can be who we're called to be without them in our worlds. And the moment we realize that this person may have not deserved me, this person needs me as much as I needed them. Some people will treat you like they don't need you because they know you need them. Don't let that fly over your head. But the moment you start to realize, nah, that person needed me just as much as I needed them, you start to walk different. You start to understand yourself. You start to understand the presence you carry. You start to understand your aura, the energy you carry, the energy God gave you. You start to realize that you have effects on people. And it's not just you being hurt when people leave you, when people leave your life, when others leave. Later on down the line, the more they stay away from you, the more they crave you. The difference you make in your life, The difference is that you may not know it until you go through it, but they got to go through it to know it. You may not know that you can get over this. You may not know that you can live without this person again. That this heartbreak won't kill you and it won't take you out. You may not know until you go through, until it happens. But once you go through it, you keep moving. The thing is, when other people go through it, they realize they're never going to get you back. They realize it was the worst mistake they ever made. They realize you really their favorite person. Some people love you more than they love anybody else on this earth. And they will never tell you. But the moment they go through it, they can't get through it. You can get through it when you go through it because of who God called you to be. The light that God uses in you to expose their darkness. But some people, they don't have, you were the light. So when you left, their darkness increased. When you left, they thought it would make them happier. I don't know how many people you've been in your life that they thought it would make them happier when you left. They thought you were a liability. They treated you like you were nothing. And time went on, and only time can tell. And some people still aren't healed. They didn't even think that they would miss you this much. They appreciate you now because they know they can never get you back. But when you were appreciating them, when they were in your face, see, some people, they won't appreciate you until you're gone. But you, chosen ones, you appreciate people the moment they enter your presence. You don't wait to tell somebody you love them because you know what it's like to lose time on the wrong people. You treat people how you want to be treated. You treat people how you treat yourself. You are truly gifted. You are truly called. You are truly chosen. But other people, they're not like you. That's why you got to be careful. The Bible says to guard our hearts. Because we've let so many of the wrong people in our lives. And when they walked out, they thought you were the wrong person to marry. But when they walked out and they got into more relationships, they got more friendships, they got into different friend groups, they started to realize one thing is missing. I feel incomplete. Meanwhile, the moment they left you, everything shattered for you. But day by day, you picked up those pieces and started to build again. And right now, where you're finally feeling whole again, you're finally feeling like yourself again, they walk around here with half a heart. Because they chose not to heal like you. They couldn't heal like you. Because they didn't know the effects it would have when a chosen one leaves your life. You could still be brokenhearted, chosen ones. You could still be out here, half of you. Like the day they left, they took half of you and they thought you would never get back on your feet again. They thought you would never build you up again. To be in another relationship, to get another friend, to call somebody else family. But you started to build. You started to pick yourself up piece by piece. And God was with you. You had God with you. You had God by your side. See, some people, the one thing that they lack is that they're fighting this battle alone. But you're fighting with God. God shows you daily how to renew yourself. And even the days where you feel like, I'm losing, you're doing so much better without them than you would have ever been with them. You got some people that they're still in the same place mentally, emotionally. They're still abusing people. They're still a narcissist. They haven't worked on themselves a day since you left. If anything, you were making them better, and now that you left, you were bringing to light their darkness. You were making them work on themselves. You were changing them. Being around you, it makes people love more. It makes people kinder. Certain things, I don't tolerate when people are around me. I don't tolerate meanness. You have to be kind to be around me. I don't laugh at a lot of jokes that people would laugh at when you being mean. When you making fun of somebody, I wouldn't laugh at that joke. And so when people see how serious you are about loving other people, it forces them, it makes them think, and it makes them want to change and be better. It makes them want to be like you. That's when the envy comes in. How could you be so kind? How could you be so nice, kind-hearted? People hate you for how you love chosen ones. But you ain't gonna never lose your heart. Even when you lost your mind, you didn't lose your heart. When you felt like you was going crazy, you were still using your heart. You were still loving people. That's your biggest gift. You are who you are because of how you love. And don't you understand something? People cannot find that. It's just simply put. People can't find what they're looking for after they found you because you were what they were looking for. They were just too naive to admit it. They denied it that you were everything they were looking for because they were too ashamed. They were too embarrassed because they felt like they couldn't meet you where you were. Some of you got into relationships and your friends may have had more money than you, but they didn't have a bigger heart than you. You embarrassed them because of your heart. That your boyfriend or your girlfriend may have had more money than you, may have had a degree, may have had more support or a bigger family than you. But your heart outmatched them by 1,000,000. That's why they broke it off. Because your heart was too big for their little rock. And so you don't have to worry about how you love people. You got to start to understand that I have to love people how I got to love people. I have to have people in my life that love how I love. Because if not, they're going to get jealous. If not, they're going to try to make my heart cold like theirs. They went out here wondering why you still could feel, why you still get to love. Why the storms that broke them didn't break you. People are mad that you still see, that there's still brightness in your eyes, that there's still color in your world. People mad, but they don't understand that that gift comes from God. In order to find true happiness, you have to find God. Because in the midst of your storms, people don't understand how you ain't bitter like them. But it's because God makes you better so that you won't be bitter. You got to start loving people. You got to have people around. You have to let people love you. The ones that you let really close to you. Listen to me. They got to have the same heart. You got to be equally yoked with you. Because if not, it's going to hurt them when they try to get over you. You're going to run like a video on replay in their mind. And people thought that by now they would have gotten over you. The reason why you're opposite from people. This is why you're different chosen ones. And I'm going to end this here, but just listen to me. The longer you are without people, the more you realize that the better you get. And the longer they're without you, the worse it gets for them. It may have not felt the same it felt for you that first month you really had no contact. It was breaking your heart. You couldn't breathe. 2 months in, 5 months in, you still thinking about this person. Your mind is still on repeat. Recycle. You still wondering what if. You still praying they would hit you up. But when them 6 months turned into 12, you was healing more and more. You hear me? While in the first month, they wasn't feeling no pain. They was happy. They was with somebody new. They felt like they was living a whole different life. They felt like they was free from you. Then 6 months and they started to think about it, question it. But they were still good. They still clubbing. They still going out. They ain't thinking about you too much. It's been a year now. It's been 2 years, 5 years. And they still can't find what's been missing since you left. They still can't find what they're looking for since they found you. And now you're gone. And meanwhile, you 5 years down the line and you like, I'm going to be all right. You hoping that you find somebody new. And the crazy thing is, people immediately try to replace you. You thug this one out by yourself. You stayed single for a while. Or when you did try to get in a relationship, God blocked it. Because you probably didn't want to stay single, but when you did try to get into a relationship, God allowed you to heal. God allowed them to be fast. But God set you down, and day by day, you spent the loneliest times of your life after they left. And God didn't allow a relationship. He didn't allow a new best friend. He didn't allow a new lover. He didn't allow a new boyfriend or girlfriend. He didn't send more family to comfort you. He let you go through this by yourself, just you and God, you and him. And you felt like you was dying. You felt like you was breaking. You felt like you was being stressed to capacity. You felt like you couldn't do it. You hated isolation. You hated the silence of having no one to call when your heart and your head are at war in your body. When your mind is fighting against your spirit. When you fighting against you. Meanwhile, you going on their social medias and they got people. And you already knowing they got family that support them. But you out here by yourself. You getting over this thing by yourself. And God meant it to be that way. Because fast forward later on down the line. The things that they tried to cover up with relationships, you've already dealt with. And God is about to give you new relationships in your life. And you won't go into those relationships breaking people because you're healed. You healed. You won't put yourself in harm's way by getting into relationships when you already knowing that you're not fully ready for a relationship. Your family did you too bad. You're not ready to start your own family. But God gave you that time to heal. Meanwhile, fast forward in their lives, they just as broken, if not even more, because the people that they tried to replace you with broke them even more. The relationship that they tried to get in to forget about you, it broke them, it destroyed them even more. The things that they rushed into, they didn't sit down, they didn't give themselves a break, they rushed into it to forget about you, and they thought it was best for them because they wanted to forget about you. They wanted to leave you. They wanted to be done with you. They wanted to wash their hands with you. They wanted you to disappear out of their life. And now, your healing is about to bring new, better relationships. Your healing is about to attract healed people, godly relationships, godly friendships. But the people that left you, you still their favorite person. Even when you didn't know who you were. They still miss you. But you came a long way. And I am so proud of you. Because you beat the odds. It was easy to go and get into another relationship. Go and jump into somebody else's bed. It was easy to drown yourself in the drugs. But you chose godly coping mechanisms. Your strength showed the most in your struggle. You didn't even know you could do it until you went through it and you had to. About it today, tomorrow.